Hello, my name's Stephen. This is a presentation really of how I got in a place which was horrendous and managed to get myself, with a lot of help from the high intensity services team, out of that situation. Why am I doing the presentation? Really, it's the importance of the work that you guys do. I was in the army for some years, and you get made a certain way and moulded a certain way. The British Army is the best army in the world, I personally believe, having worked with a lot of different nationalities, soldiers. And that said, you're in a mould where you don't want to really admit weakness, don't want to admit that you've got a problem, and the hardest thing of all is asking for help. So that's one of the reasons why I want to do this, to assist, if possible, people getting out of situations that they may find themselves in. I was involved in an RA bomb blast some years ago, 38 years ago, and obviously it has had quite a big effect on my life. I've lived with it for a long time and managed to carry on walking along the road of life, so to speak. Last year, unfortunately, I got an arrhythmia on my heart, and that caused me to be, a little bit weaker physically than I'd been for some years. And I started having issues with, problems mentally, remembering what had happened to me in the past, and sort of started to affect my life. So I just carried on going forward with it. Unfortunately, a couple of months ago, I've had to have a healthy dog that started biting people put down. I loved that dog, and I actually totally imploded, fell apart. I started having bad flashbacks. I was shouting, the boxes are all overflowing. I was just crying and screaming. I just kept seeing blood and hearing people scream, and it was just absolutely horrendous, and it was going over in a loop. So I found it really difficult to cope with, and I didn't cope with it. I basically fell over big time. I was going to take my own life, but a picture of my granddaughter on my phone case made me stop what I was doing, and then I started to shout for help. My boss, I rang her, and she kept me on the phone till my wife came. So I was able to be looked after and put in a place of safety. I went to Lincoln, where overnight I was on an assessment unit, and it was horrendous for me, and not so good for the staff, because I was just crying, flashback after flashback, just screaming. It was really, really difficult time. One day they came through and said, someone from the Veterans High Intensity Services team is here to see you, so I said, who? But I felt like a little spark ignite inside me, which said to me, someone's here just for me. Which made a lot of difference, to be honest, over the coming visits. But I went through and sat down, and I wasn't very well. I know that now. And the lady came and spoke to me, Sarah, and we I didn't really know what to say, but I did talk to her. She was a great listener and sort of helped me realise that there was a way forward. They gave me the biggest thing that you can ever have to get out of bad situations, and that's hope. Every time they came, I got more information. I did talk a lot to them. There's things I couldn't talk to my family about, or I had never talked about, and I avoided the army. I never watched things on TV, never did anything basically to do with it. And I slowly realised, came out of my bed space, and after Sarah's visit, I got a second visit from Annabelle, and I've learnt more in that 2-hour chat with her than I had in my whole life up to then. What had made me, what had, shaped who I was today, from things that happened in childhood, and obviously, the army, and obviously where I was at that point. But also, we were discussing coping, and she sent me some information. Somebody a couple of hours later said, "Oh, this is for you, Stephen." It was stuff on coping and how to ground yourself during a flashback and things like that, which I'd not come across and not researched. But with the hope and the information, I sat on my bed space religiously every morning. I laid it all out on my bed and I read it, and I started to plan. The only way I could think of getting out of this was to just treat it like a navigation exercise. So I would plan a small route, you know, a small win, and then move to the next one. And I said to myself on that first morning that I might not be able to see to the horizon, but I can see to my next cup of tea, coffee, meal, you know, sleep or whatever. It was just a way of carrying on and steering myself, if you like, to recovery. You know, I knew that I had backup, that someone would be there, you know, fighting my corner. So I continued to develop my toolkit, if you like, how I would get myself out of the situation, what I would do if I had a flashback. I even practiced it. There is no substitute for rehearsal, we used to say when I was a soldier. And, you know, I was rehearsing, what am I going to do? What's my grounding object going to be? Where am I going to, you know, what position am I going to be in? If, you know, am I going to be able to cope with it? The high intensity guys came the first morning I was here, and I think they saw a difference in me. You know, it wasn't so positive. I was a bit, you know, hunched over, and I realised that morning that I was really unwell, which was a bit of a job for me. It's hard to admit some of this stuff. I was in despair and I was very anxious about things. For about 4 or 5 days, it was really difficult for me to just function, really, but I had to keep going at it and I had to just fight. You know, it's the hardest thing to do, getting out of this situation, believe me, but you can, if you take it on board and listen to what people tell you and devise your own system, you can get out of it. I was well supported by the high intensity services team, and also the crisis team came and see me as well. So I was getting, you know, regular visits and phone calls and things, and that really assisted me. My fight continues with it, you know. I would like to thank the veterans team for their assistance in getting me to where I am now. If you have a Monday morning where you're thinking, oh, work today, then get out of bed and go in, you know, because you guys basically saved my life. I know that if I hadn't have had this assistance and the calmness and the direction and the information that gave me the hope, then I wouldn't be here now, which would have been not very good for me, but even worse for my family. I made this film. It's not been easy, really. I've been a bit worried about doing it and a bit shaky in that, but the reason I've done it is because I want people to understand how important the high intensity services team have been for my own recovery, my journey out of a really, really bad situation, and the hope that I'm going to, you know, make a good recovery from it all. And also, if anybody does watch this that's going through, you know, and got all the same things I had, then ask for help. You know, do that. Don't do it. If you was in the army and Navy or Air Force and you were fighting an enemy, you wouldn't give up. So why would you give up on your family or yourself? You know, you've got to fight through this. There is a way. They'll show you a way. It's not going to be easy. For any professionals that watch this that maybe have not come across it, if you come across someone that's got, or you think's got PTSD, then maybe the video will help you understand what they're carrying through life, how hard it can be, and also that you can direct them to the services that are available. I'd like to thank you all, firstly, for your help in getting me out of this situation that I was in, and I would also like to thank you very much for your time.